So hey guys, it's Klaus. Welcome back to another episode of The Biggest Asshole, the series where you get to watch multiple assholes in actions. You get to watch multiple clips, and then you get to decide who is the biggest asshole. And there's a voting button in the top right corner of the screen. You watch all the clips, and then you get to vote. You watch and you decide. There can only be one biggest asshole. And we're going to start today with Feawful 3. Feawful 3 in his WZ1321 light tank, who's going to scurry into the forest and spot for his team. It's a tough job being a light tank in this game. You've got the least amount of HP, you've got the least effective guns, you've got the least amount of armor. You don't even have the best view range sometimes, but yet you're expected to go out there in front of your team, take all the risks and spot and hope that your team takes some shots. And he's done a little run here. When you get a good light tank on your team that scurries out like that and lights all those targets, it is so much easier to win the game. And people really appreciate a light tank that spots, like old Feawful did here, especially when you're in artillery. When you're playing artillery, you rely on your teammates to light targets for you while you sit at the back and take shots from safety. And if a light tank survives till the end of the game in your artillery, you can get a lot of damage because that light tank becomes more and more effective the longer it stays alive. So that's why you see a lot of great games where a light tank and an artillery work together to achieve victory. Sometimes in a platoon and sometimes just randomly in the game when they meet each other. It's so nice to see. So let's watch what happens here in this game, and you can see that there are targets lit in this forest, and oh, he's taking some sneaky shots here. Look at this. He's using the bushes to use his gun to take some shots. And the thing about the forest here is it's an attrition game. You want to whittle down the HP of your enemies. You want to keep them lit, let your artillery shoot them, and just whittle them down. Whittle down the HP and slowly... Oh, wait a minute. What is this? The artillery is marking the ground right on top of him. What? His own artillery... He's supposed to be whittling down the enemy HP. He seems to be confused. He's not aiming at the enemies that are lit there in the forest. He's aiming at his own light, and he's taken a shot at his own light tank and stunned him because he's decided that maybe he should whittle down the HP of his own team instead of the enemy team. This has infuriated the WZ, who is heading straight back, but the artillery is calling halt, halt, and marks the ground in front of his own light tank again. It's T.H. Khan in the artillery from the Chaos clan. He's marking the ground. Halt! Hey, I shot you. Halt! What are you doing? You're going the wrong way. Halt, halt. Hey, team, help me, help me. My light tank is attacking me. Oh, he shot me with HE. And he retaliates on the WZ, stuns him again, but the splash kills himself. T.H. Khan from the Chaos clan in the M53, M55. Halt! Halt, you! Why are you driving back towards me? Just because I shot you? Halt! Halt! Team, help! Is he today's biggest asshole? Well, you guys get to decide. Let's move on to the next clip now. We have another artillery player, this time in an M44 X-Ray Standard from the RTR clan. And unlike the previous biggest asshole contender, some artillery drivers actually try to help their team and are very skilled at what they do and would never ever harm a teammate. In fact, they help their team win by doing sneaky things that only experienced artillery players know how to do. And old X-Ray Standard is going to show you how it's done here. He's playing on the Paris map, and as you can see, there are 2 artillery on each team. And on this map, it's very likely that the artilleries will position themselves in this northern field area. And old X-Ray Standard knows this, and he immediately focuses in on the areas where the enemy artilleries are likely to be hiding. He waits. He does not take blind shots because he is patient. He wants to help his team by eliminating one of the enemy SPG players. And oh, there's a tracer. He's getting, oh, and there is another tracer. He decides to pick his target and shoots. And they're knocked out. Look at that. What a way to start the game. The enemy team only has 1 SPG now, and his team still has 2. A huge advantage. This is the type of artillery player you want on your team. Well, that is if you have a normally functioning brain. This is the type of SPG player you want on your team. If you have a special type of brain that functions differently, like old Tio Pepe in the Dickers Max, who was probably saying, what's going on? The other team had two SPGs, and we had two, and now the other team only has one. I should kill our SPGs so that it's even. I'm driving a Dickers Max. Let's make sure we got the right Dickers Max. Let's look at the team list there. Yes, it was Tio Pepe, who was the dick in the Dickers Max. And the next contestant on today's biggest asshole. Was he today's biggest asshole? You guys get to decide. Let's move on to the next clip here. And who do we have now? Who do we have here? The Jimmy. We have the Jimmy. Little Jimmy, who loaded in late here because he probably doesn't have a great computer. And he's in a tiny little Scorpion on this tiny little map. What is this map? Provence? Whatever it's called. And he's loaded in late, so he's chosen to move to this bush and shoot whoever his teammates spot from the other side. This is a good spot to be. Oh, and it looks like he has a Wolverine that's going to set up behind him and do the same thing. Double the firepower. Why not? This is a small map, but there's lots of room here. Well, that's one way of doing it. We're done for. Everyone get ball in haul in the Wolverine. Well, what's wrong with you? What? I don't want him here beside me. I want this spot all for myself, so screw you. I'm going to push you off the cliff and kill you because I'm an asshole. Is he today's biggest asshole? Read the chat. Well, you guys get to decide. Let's move on to the next clip. And we have a T92. You know what, guys? I'm going to show you more than 5 clips today. There's only room for 5 selections in the voting button. In the top right corner of the screen, there's a voting button. And you get to choose. And I am going to select 5. But I'm going to show you more than 5 because some of them, well, let's just say some of them are not completely asshole-ish worthy. Although they are still pretty close, so they're entertaining to watch. And we're going to watch this one. And it is Stephen Ton in the T92, who has some bad luck in this game and sent this in and is sure that his teammate in the Scorpion G should be the next contestant on The Biggest Asshole. And we're gonna show the clip here, but I have filtered this one out. I'm eliminating this one from the voting. There he is, the Scorpion G, who is stunned and has moved up behind the light tank. It is always good if a light tank moves up to spot to stay a little further back and take shots and not park right beside him. Get lit and allow the artillery to shoot you and splash your own light tank. But that was not asshole worthy. And he is stunned, and his retreat is kind of blocked. He can't back up there, although he's not trying. I think he's just furious. And what is he doing now? What are you doing? What are you doing there, Steventon? He's waiting for some eddies. He's typing in chat. That's what he's doing. And now he's trying to back up, but he's stuck because the Scorpion is behind him. And he can't maneuver, and now his engine's knocked out. And he's just having a great game, and he's dead. There you go. You're done for. Everyone get out. Well, he is furiously typing in chat there. He's convinced that the Scorpion G is the reason he died in that game. He is so convinced that the Scorpion G caused him to die that he sent it in. And we're watching it, but you know what? The Scorpion G is not going to get on the voting list for this one because, you know, shit happens. Let's move on to the next one. All right. Who is this? Dizika Adjovic. Dizika Adjovic, I guess, is in his Swedish tank destroyer, the STRV S1. And he is on Lake, what is this map called? Lakeview, Lakeville, Lake whatever. And the only place for a Swedish tank destroyer to go on this map is either camp at the back to support the valley or move up the lake road and hope that one of the light tanks on your team spots and so that you can get some shots. And that's what he's doing. And it is an encounter game, and it seems like, oh, the whole team is going down the lake road. There's a little jostling here between the Centurion and the STRV, but all right, it looks like all the TDs have set up here. The Centurion is upset and has decided to ass rub the STRV and push him forward so that he can take some enemy fire. Who is this? Who is the Centurion? It is Endoplasma. Endoplasma is got his gun barrel up your endo, and you have been plasma'd to death. Yeah, verstanden, or whatever that means. Well, that one was quick. Endoplasma, you're a medium tank. You could have shot over your STRV or just beside him or whatever. What's your problem? Is he today's biggest asshole? Well, you guys get to decide. Let's move on here and let's watch Wave Bye-Bye in his AMX 1390 from the Roger clan. And he's ready to start this game, and there's a platoon on his team that immediately takes control and starts giving orders to the team. The PZ says to the team, heavies, go K8. He wants all the heavies to go to K8. He has a plan. And Wave Bye-Bye says, negative. Well, the Type 5 Heavy is not happy with the negative response and starts giving different instructions to the team. His instructions are a little more difficult to figure out, but he is typing in instructions, as you can read there in the chat. Well, old Wave Bye-Bye here decides he wants nothing to do with this platoon and is going to drive as far away as he can from K8. He is in a light tank and does not have to go where the heavy tanks go, and he can enjoy his game in a different portion of the map from this platoon. So here he goes to a different part of the map, not K8, that's for sure. Oh, wait! He's been shot and killed by the Type 5. It's Mavelin from the BEPIS clan. Mavelin in the Type 5. Well, that Type 5 certainly has a big gun that can one-shot people. Unfortunately, he decided to one-shot one of his teammates, which is probably a poor choice. It's better usually if you shoot the enemies rather than the teammates. But anyways, there you have it, and so on and so forth. Mavelin in the Type 5 from the Bepis clan. Is he today's biggest asshole? Well, he's not done. He's continuing in the chat there. You can keep reading. He's giving more instructions to his team. He wasn't content with just killing one of his teammates. He's going to finish it off here by typing one final instruction for everyone to read. Here it comes. There you go. Was he today's biggest asshole? You guys get to decide. Let's watch the last clip here. And I'm including this one because it just illustrates how things escalate out of control for no reason. Look at this light tank here who's starting the game, moving in this direction. The Yudes is in the way and tries to back up. There's a little bit of contact there. Now the light tank is pissed off. You bumped me! And does an extra little push. The Yudes gets so upset that he shoots him up the ass. The light tank turns around and says, you shot me up the ass? What's wrong with you? And rams the Yudes. The game is already screwed now. He gets shot again. Forget the game. Let's just go at each other. And it just escalates out of control because this is the typical, I don't get it. You know, and this was sent to me as a submission for the biggest asshole. But I think it's better to watch it just as, like, why? Why? This one's not included in the voting as one of the 5. The game starts, you start moving, you're heading in one direction, there's 15 tanks, everyone wants to go in a certain direction, there's a little jostle. You're in my way! What's wrong with you? The other guy tried to back up, but the 2 tanks collided. He's in your way, but instead of just pausing and going a little bit to the left, no! Push him and make sure that there's contact for 5 or 6 seconds and aim your barrel at him. You asshole! You were in my way! And then turn around and I showed him. And the other guy, he bumped me and he aimed his gun at, I'll shoot him! And they shoot him. And there's team damage, so turn around, face each other. There's been team damage. Forget the game. Let's go at each other. There you are. Yeah? You think you're going to have a good game now? Well, I can play this game. I'll just come up behind you and push you for the whole game. And I'll send this in, and you're the asshole because you bumped me for 2 seconds at the beginning of the game. And so now we're gonna, oh, someone else killed me. There's the asshole. What's going on? It's just a clusterfuck. Guys, it's just a video game. Why do people get so irate in the first few seconds of the game? And in chat, the raging, that's just... Well, anyways, use the voting button and choose today's biggest asshole. There can only be one. And let me know in the comments, should they just eliminate team damage, or what can be done?
Hey, yes. Money, yes. What are you doing?